What was your first time condom buying experience from a shop? The first thing to consider is that you're not the star of the cringe hour. You're not the first person in there buying condoms, and it's not like they sell them just so they can judge every sexually active person in town who's practicing safe sex. No one cares. Just buy them like you would a soda or some shampoo. The only one worked up about it is yourself.
I went through a phase of buying them at the same CVS on Friday nights. It was always the same girl working, and I always bought the big pack.
I could tell she remembered me, and one time she said,
Figured I'd be seeing you.
I was so off to a great start. Walking to a gas station, already growing hesitant, with the only thing on my mind was getting laid. Something told me I should just grab a box and throw it on the counter. Yet the second I walk through the door, the clerk looks at me and says,
Hope you weren't in a hurry, buddy.
no one else was in the store, so all his attention was on me, and I guess I couldn't help but look extremely suspicious with my hood pulled over my head and my hands crammed in my pockets. No problem! I smile back, with my voice cracking on those words. As I get over to the section, my haste quickly left. I had no idea what to buy. In such a limited stock, there was still more selections than I had ever seen. So many different names and textures and flavors. I was so lost.
Finding anything interesting over there?
The clerk cackled at me. I jumped and grabbed for the Timmit box I could see, a box of Durex in a blue box. Now, to place the scene best, I should clarify, when a redheaded guy blushes, your entire face goes redder than your hair. So this clerk, so a terrified 16-year-old boy with a hood pulled over his dark pink face. Throwing the box on the counter, I grab a fistful of cash from my pocket and prepared to pay. With the transaction almost over, I felt like it would pass harmlessly enough until...
You have fun with her tonight, man.
The clerk said, leaning close to me. All I could muster as I snatched the bag was,
Yeah, you too, mate.
The entire time, my girlfriend at the time sat in the car texting her friends. We didn't have sex that night, or ever. But damn was that lucky break for me. Yet, that's a story for another time.
It wasn't awkward or cringy or tough or whatever. I never really understood why people have trouble buying condoms. Chances are very likely that the cashier running the till was penis plowed before going to sleep the night before, or already popped out a number of your age kids, or that he spent a lovely evening being by his boyfriend. Practically everybody will have sex eventually, and using the rubber coat shows that you're responsible doing it. Anyway, I picked up the condoms and a Kit Kat bar, took my place in the queue behind some teenage girl buying tampons and in front of an old lady buying chocolates and some royalty/celebrity rag. The queue was held up because the till was malfunctioning, so they opened up another one. When it was my turn, I paid for the condoms and the Kit Kat bar by debit card because I didn't have enough change. Then I went home, had dinner, took a shower, went to the girl I was going to fuck, had shitty virginal sex, took another shower, went to sleep.
Having an older brother, I'd always heard him talking about what condoms were best and such. He swore by the ultra-thin brands. I knew the dirty deed was nigh, we'd already fooled around, and thought that it'd be best to have some so I didn't take to get some when the time came. So I went to the drugstore and walked back to the aisle. The pharmacy techs kept looking at me as I perused, and I knew the front of the store clerk. I opted to buy them back at the pharmacy counter rather than up front with the older woman who knew me since grade school. Fuck that awkward mess. As I bought them, the homely pharmacy tech said, "Don't use them all too fast now." To which I replied, "Where's the fun in not?" and strutted out waving to the older woman I knew on the way out.
I'll be damned if she didn't have some gut feeling, though.
Every single one of those condoms broke when we finally got down to it.
Every single one. My GF, I was asking what the fuck was going on. I was both cursing the condoms for interrupting us every time one broke and loving them because it obviously meant I was too big for the puny, ultra-thin condoms. Right? Guys, am I right? When we ran out of condoms, we tried plan B, which was just pull the fuck out. Afterwards, my friends came over as she was taking off, saw my trash can full of broken used condoms, and gave me high fives. She got a high five later as well. And that is how the pharmacy tech cursed my box of condoms. True story. Buying condoms for the first time. Years ago, I was a young teenager, and those days you had to go to the pharmacy to buy condoms. I nervously went to the counter and said to the woman, "Can I buy some condoms?" "What size, son?" "I don't know. I have never measured it." "No, I mean pack of 2, 6, or 12. Still cringe about this years later.
Don't cringe. That cashier made the confusing comment on purpose.
They knew what they were doing, and they probably thought it was funny. And it was funny. Still, feel bad for OP. Totally not a cringe moment, though. 2 fun condom stories. My buddy was buying condoms for the first time, anxiously, and for some reason thought having a buddy with him would make it better, so I go with him. He makes a selection, and we walk to the counter and makes his purchase.
Cashier says, "Have a good night, guys." So I grabbed my buddy by the waist and pulled him close and said, "Oh, we will." Second story. I was with another buddy who was buying condoms. He grabbed the Trojan Fire and Ice ones, and we walked to the register. The cashier booked his item, then with the box still in hand, raised it over her head and shouted to another cashier a few lanes away and said, "Check out how weird these are." I was 18, anxiously, and my GFN told me, "If you want sex, you better have some condoms with you." So I go to a 24-hour pharmacy around 11 p.m., hoping that nobody is around to witness that I'm horny AF trying to buy condoms. So I approach the lady at the counter and say, "Can I get some condoms?" Which she replies, "Which type?" I say, "The rib ones, please." Then she says, "How many?" I say 2, but pointing to the box I want. She then rebuffs with, "You can get 3, 10, or 36, but not 2. I repeat myself, "I want 2 of those," and point to the box I want. She repeats herself. I'm very embarrassed at this point. There are 2 people behind me listening to this conversation. I gathered all my inner strength and say, "Can I get 2 36 rib condom boxes, please?" She looks at me and smiles and says, "Here you go, lucky young man." I almost died right then and there. I want to use condoms, but I don't know how to buy them.
Problem goal.
My friends don't answer me properly when I ask them how to buy condoms. They don't take me seriously because they know I don't have a partner. Context: I've had a partner for a year, and I haven't told my friends yet. Last month, my partner, F18, wanted me to be her first. She was pushing me, but I kept saying I wasn't ready, and I didn't want to do it raw because something unexpected might happen and ruin our future. But now that I've thought about I'm ready, I want to go ahead if she asks again. My question is, how do I buy condoms? Do they come in different sizes? What do I say to the cashier when I'm buying them? My penis is only 4.5 inches long, by the way. When you buy, you should not be shy to assert dominance. If you can't buy one, then you're not ready to use one. For now, think hard if your preference is in the right side of your brain. Wear a face mask and cap. If you are shy, no one will know who you are when you buy. This is how I do it before when I'm shy, and in my mind, I have the confidence to buy because they can't know who I am. Therefore, I don't care if I'm seen buying condoms. LOL. Just be straightforward or nonchalant about it. It is difficult to rush into battle unarmed. Buying condoms for the first time. Hey, other man on the internet.
I'm about to hit that time in my life. I'm about to lose my virginity and I'm looking to buy condoms for the first time. I could really use advice. I'm not too afraid to share this, but I'm about 7-inch length. But I am not sure how to measure girth. We want something that isn't thin since we want to be safe. So something that is thick and lubricated if possible. All these terms and brands are confusing. Can anyone offer advice? Also, if there aren't any other tips related to this, that would be great. Thanks. I hope yours doesn't stay in your wallet for 4 years like mine did. Buy several different brands and sizes. Have fun figuring out which one you both like. I, ma'am, 17, just bought condoms for the first time. I know it's not a big thing, but my anxiety was off the charts. Now I'm waiting for my dad to pick me up. He doesn't know anything, and I'm not going to tell him. It's a normal thing, but it feels like a crime for some reason. I just wanted to get that out of my chest. Thanks. Good on buying them. Keep using them until you think you're ready for a kid. Don't take your chances. I can remember when I was in your shoes. You're absolutely doing the right thing. It's a crime that society makes it feel like a crime. I remember buying condoms as a teenager. It's so nerve-wracking and exciting. Good on buying them. Kids and STDs are expensive. That reminds me of my first time buying them. I just went there, blindly picked one, and went to pay together with my groceries. Behind me, 2 girls were waiting in line, and I could hear them suddenly start to chuckle and whisper stuff to each other. After I paid and went out of the shop, I realized I had bought extra small ones.
Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. In the meantime, check out the other ones. They're already waiting for you. Share your thoughts on this topic in the comments and tell your own stories. Wishing you a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.